Hey, I'm trying to live until I die. Come connect, you know it's a lewd state of mind. Yeah, yeah, talking traveling. If you wanna fly, fitness and finance, living a better life, keep it raw, no filter, living with no limit. Thank you for tuning in. Come on, let's get it.
G'day, mate.
How you doing, mate? All right?
I'm doing well, man. Should I say kia ora, bro?
Yeah, that's what everyone goes to because I work for a Kiwi company, but I'm not a Kiwi.
Do you want to
But I
tell?
love it.
Do you want to tell everybody who you work for?
I work for AS Colour.
AS
Which
Colour.
is-
What do they do?
We're a premium blank garment manufacturer originating from New Zealand and then crossed over to good old Australia, and then now we're in the US and the UK.
Wow,
Storm fronting.
Lawrence Railton.
Larry, Uncle Larry, I
Oh, is that right?
affectionately call him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laz.
Is he a nice guy?
He's a legend. Absolute champion.
Well, it's because he's a Kiwi, isn't he?
Well, that's the thing. I never used to say that. Being an Aussie, like, bloody Kiwis now. I'm sorry, but I just have to give it to them. Like, all of them, every single one I work with, and even like companies outside of AS Colour that I'll end up finding out that they're Kiwi companies. I'm like, they're just. I don't
Mate,
know.
we've infiltrated pretty much every industry around the world.
Well played.
We're ingenious little bastards.
Well, I find it just like from what I found, like from my history of working, it's just always like give it a crack, or it's like, yeah, give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, they call that the number 8 wire mentality. You've heard about that?
No.
So you can fix anything with a piece of number 8 wire. So that's where that comes from. We are. New Zealand, obviously, it's a small island, and there's not a lot of resources generally in the olden days, and we used to just make do with what we did. And there's a lot of famous Kiwis that have come out of, obviously, New Zealand and gone all around the world and done some amazing things. And you work for one of them.
I sure do. I love it. That's good. I've just ticked over, 8 years? 8 years and 3 months now. Yeah. Well, it doesn't feel like it.
8 years.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it at all. I feel like it's probably
When
been
did
about 4 or
the
5.
company formed in 2005, 2006, is that correct?
2005, yeah.
Yep.
Larry, he worked for previously in a company. He's worked in the skateboarding and distribution side of things. And then, yeah, he kind of, a long story short, and a story he definitely tells much, much better. Yeah, he went to his bank manager and sussed a bank loan and explained that he was starting a T-shirt that was a company that wasn't a brand, and it was just plain T-shirts, and got the befuddled.
It's a hard
cross-eyed
sell, isn't
look.
it?
Oh yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
So from our listeners' point of view, you specialise and you use the word quality, which is part of your ethos.
Yeah.
You supply blank items generally and mostly to the decoration industry.
Yeah, decorators are definitely the big big chunk of the business. So decorators being like screen printers, embroiders.
Yep. Can I just read you something I got off the interweb?
Yeah. Go
Right. AS Colour. Now, do you hate it when people call it as colour?
As Colour.
As
Yeah.
colour?
Oh,
What else do they call it?
I get it, but then I'll say, oh yeah, no, AS Colour, and then they'll still say As Colour.
Do we know what the AS stands for?
It stands for Apparel Studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Larry just decided to stick with AS because no one can spell apparel. And then like there's people all the time. Every time I tell them that, they're like, "Oh yeah, how do you spell it? Is it double P,
double
one
Ps,
P, two
yeah.
R's?" So yeah, that's what AS Colour stands for.
AS Colour is a leading international provider of high-quality blank apparel, so APPAREL, and other merchandise to the screen and digital garment printing industry, a sector often referred to as printwear or decorators. Well known for its small network of successful retail stores, AS Colour is a thriving business-to-business wholesaler, supplying its products into a diverse range of end uses, including event merchandising, corporate events, specialty retail, uniforms, team apparel, and promotional activities. The company has established a strong position in the printwear industry, a large and well-performing sector benefiting from growth in e-commerce and advances in digital printing technology.
Yeah,
Boom.
nailed it. Whoever wrote that one.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that actually came off a website that was an article from one of their investors in the early days.
Yeah, okay.
But obviously they've just taken the market by the balls and gone, hello, here we are, and you've provided good quality products. I'll tell you what, before
Yeah.
we go any further, talking about quality products, I've got something that you need to try. You've
All
heard
right.
of Buckfast?
No, I haven't. And this is you pointed this out, and I'm like, I definitely got my interest.
This is one of our sponsors. So Joe and Rob from Chapel Street Cellars in Chapel Street.
Oh yeah, listen, yeah.
Yep, they're the importers of Buckfast. And it's a tonic wine, and it's got more caffeine than Red Bull. And it is really tasty. Just give me a second.
I saw that it was made by monks.
Yes,
That's crazy.
it is crazy. It's a good. I think we covered it in the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of history. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you very much for coming down.
Nah, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's been a while in the making, but we got here, eh? So what do you think about the studios?
Oh, I love it, mate. I walked in and I was beaming straight away. I was like a kid in a lolly shop.
Mate.
I was like, please don't be offended. It wasn't, this is so legit. This is like a setup of someone that's seasoned and been at it for quite a while, I feel.
Fake it till you make it. That's what I say, buddy.
Man, but yeah, I mean, obviously, with my history with, motorcycles and stuff like that, all the things like snowboarding. And
Yes, there's a lot to look at, isn't there? Hey, it's great.
Like my wife was here, if my wife was here, right, she'd be like, "What the hell is this? Is just like all of your stuff." Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I like it because we add to it and our guests bring
Oh
us.
man, this is
Yeah, you like that?
probably dangerously good, isn't it?
It is.
What's the percentage on it?
It's 14.1 or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
14.5. It's good.
You
It's
can-
good gear.
Yeah, give that a red hot.
The English and the Scottish and that love it, and that's generally their clientele at Chapel Street Cellars who buy it, and it's legendary. It's cult.
One of my mates, he frequents Chapel Cellars so much.
Really?
He tells new employees apparently there's a trick to opening and closing the doors there. One of those things like, the old Fonzie kick the...
Are we talking about the same place?
Yeah.
Chapel Street
Yeah,
Cellars.
yeah.
Yeah?
And apparently there's like, you've got to jiggle the door and he'll see staff that have just started there and like closing up, opening. He's like, oh, I'll show you how it's done.
I reckon you're talking about another place. It might not be Chapel Street Cellars.
And it's
it
like,
might not.
what is it, like 3 doors down from Yellowbird?
No,
What's that one?
no.
What am I
Oh,
thinking
you
then?
might be talking about there used to be a sub place, and you went through the freezer door into the
No,
cocktail.
that's
not
Boston
that one.
Subs.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they're Chapel Cellars, and they're just like all wines, and you rock up there, and you ask to speak to a staff member, and they know their wines.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
but it's an open door with the fridges.
Yeah,
and
and
then
they've got to close the doors eventually.
and then they've got a nice garden bar at the back.
Yeah. No, but those obviously got to close their doors, and their doors when they lock up at night
Oh,
it has to be closed a certain way. And
Right.
like they're just at the start, like new staff that don't know the trick. My mate Zach, he'll like get up because he'll see or whatever, and
Yeah.
he'll run it. But he's there all. I'm sure he runs up a
Well,
pretty
that's
wild
good.
tab.
I have to ask Joe and Rob about it.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds good. Hey, let's get back to what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I don't think you didn't introduce yourself.
Actually, I didn't. We just got stuck straight into it.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, so my name's Elijah Nguyen, and I'm the national sales manager for AS Colour.
So you're on the top rung. You're up there.
I don't really think that way. Or
No?
no.
No, but I'm saying that
For Australian operations, I guess.
you're calling the shots, and you're talking to a lot of people about your products on a daily basis.
Oh
you know?
yeah, all day long.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah.
does it get a little bit? Does it get no?
I've been at this since I was 18 years old.
I was going to
In the
ask you
garment.
how long you been in the rag trade.
Yeah, so us like pretty much since I was 18.
Yeah.
Since I pretty much turned 18, I applied for a job at PSC skateboarding.
So that's only 10 years because you're only 28,
Yeah,
aren't you, mate?
I'll gladly take that. Oh, mate. No, far from it these days. So, yeah, what's that, 23 years?
Mate, I've got 2 years on you. I'm in the rag trade 25. I'm sorry. But, I mean,
No,
look at me.
yeah.
Look at me. I look like I've been in the rag trade
What
for
did
that
you say,
long.
50? Is that what you said last year?
50, yeah.
Looking good, Hollywood, mate.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Yeah,
Mate, mark that down, Mav. We'll make a promo out of that one.
take it.
23 years in the reg. So
Yeah.
how did it start for you, mate?
Yeah, so I applied because I grew up in the skateboarding. Like skateboarding has always been my thing and still is a big part of my life, despite having a bung knee and can't skate at the moment. But yeah, I would go to PSC skateboarding in Frankston, out on Station Street, good old 7B, every weekend. And I grew up in Beaky, so I'd have to catch the train to Dandenong, and I loved that place. I loved the staff there, and it was like, for anyone that didn't work there, you wanted to work there.
Yeah.
And and I applied for a job pretty much as soon as I turned 18, and then Danny Bainbridge, who was one of the original founders, and Liz, they interviewed me, and then I got the job, and then I just didn't stop. I just loved it.
Mate, you would have been stoked.
I loved
First
it so
job,
much.
first full-time job?
Nah, I worked at Coles, from 14 up to.
Yep.
I worked both of those jobs still for I worked at Coles for a long, long time. I've always loved working. I worked one period. I worked 3 jobs.
Yeah.
And I
You're my type of guy, mate.
Love it.
I had a bitch and moan last time about the youth of today and their lack of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Do you see? Because obviously you've got a lot of youth working in AS Colour.
I'm the oldest in the Australian.
I can imagine.
part
I
of the
can imagine
operations.
that. Yeah.
I hear about it.
Well, that's what I mean. You're a company that wants to look fresh and youthful and buoyant and you got to. You're in the fashion industry technically, so you got to stay up with these trends and know what's going on. I mean, I'm not saying that you're past that point of knowing.
Oh
that.
no, I definitely. People ask me. I'm like, I wear the exact same thing every day. I wear a black t-shirt, black jumper.
Is that?
Black
Do you mind me
pants.
out? Is that all AS gear?
Everything AS colour.
You got the AS undies on?
Actually, I don't think so. I think I maybe have Calvin Klein ones on today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've got AS undies, AS socks. That's it. There's no variation on that. I don't do an AS. I've got 1,000 black t-shirts.
Yeah.
But the AS, I'm going to admit this. They're not AS. They don't fit. Everybody's got a different body, you know. And but yeah,
But I've got you got me one of those. I've got your t-shirt of that and cap and trucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have printed them on AS.
Oh,
I wouldn't
okay.
have printed them on I wouldn't have printed on somebody else's brand, would I?
It's too much time in the gym, mate. Might need to step it up. That's why,
Mate, you've got to do it. That's the thing. Hey, as you get older, you don't want to stop moving.
I'm hanging for dear life at the moment on large. I'm gonna have to
Oh, really?
upgrade my wardrobe to XL soon.
How'd you go through COVID?
COVID was a bloodbath, hey.
Yeah?
I mean, on the work side of things, it was hell. It was the worst 2 years, and anyone that lived in, obviously was in Melbourne would say 2 years. Anyone outside of that would be like, oh, it was only how many days.
Well, we did it fucking tough, didn't we?
It was 2 years. It was, and the work side of thing. It was. I was pushed to breaking point. I broke.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I got to the I've always previous to that. I was always. And anyone asked me how I was doing, like, yeah, good, always happy, always fine or whatever, even if I probably wasn't. COVID just took its toll.
Was that because you weren't working in the office? Were you just working from home?
Believe it or not, it was just a lot because we were having trouble, obviously, with the supply chain, which everyone knows about.
Yeah.
But being the face of the company and the only one at the time that anyone saw, everyone would turn to me and blame me for any issue. If we're out of stock, which was stock issues, the level of abuse was out of control. And then staff were copying abuse and we'd be in, the only way we could communicate was Zoom, and we'd just be broken humans just copying it like non-stop, like from the moment you wake up to the time you decide to turn off the computer.
Mate, I'm sorry to hear that. That's just
heavy.
that is completely disrespectful. You know, the thing is with any business, sure, your relationships with your suppliers are paramount, but they're not there to be abused. And it's the same with customers. If they're going to, like at Coles, people that work at Coles don't deserve any sort of abuse at all. And the same with, so if people that don't know, to our listeners, I own a little print shop called Holy Shirt. You probably would have heard the ads.
Love it.
But I would not accept that, you know. And sure, COVID was a shitty period, but for the industry, for the fashion industry, for the printers, for the decorators, it boomed. I did not and have not stopped since COVID started. Now, the day that I heard there was going to be lockdowns was the same day I realised that I could work as an essential worker, and thank God for that. I didn't have to go through what you went through. And if somebody said that I had to close my business, I would have been fucking wrecked. I would have been an absolute wreck. And so I can understand what's happened to you.
Yeah.
But that period was fucking crazy.
Oh,
It was
madness.
crazy. And as you say, you're struggling to get stock. I've got clients sitting at home just fucking ordering left, right, and centre online,
Yeah.
and it's a vicious circle, you know?
And that's the thing. I understood it. I understood where people like, our business actually dropped like 95%. At the sound of like, the notification
That much.
it was bad.
Day
Really
one.
bad. Well, the US and UK couldn't ship. They weren't allowed to ship anything. They weren't allowed to send out a single rag out of their warehouses. And then New Zealand was pretty much the same as well. So then it was all eyes on Australia to keep the business
Everything else going.
And I was like, and then our business dropped. Like no one could do anything. So I was like, I called up. Like I thought my head was on the chopping block. I called
so
up.
you would.
I called up one of my best mates, Ash. I'm like, Ash, mate, I'm gonna need a job. Night fill at Woolworths. Can you help me out? Because
Yeah.
he worked at Woolies at the time. He's like, really? I'm like, this is not good.
Coles would have taken you back, mate, with your history.
Oh yeah, probably. Maybe I was pretty good. I would work till I sweat. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, fortunately, like it was, but it made me dig deep. I did things that I haven't done in a long time to drum up business, and fortunately drove us through. And then after maybe 2 months of like telling Georgia, like, I think I'm gonna be out of here, and then it bounced back, and then it was just out of control.
Yeah. Yep.
Wild.
Still had supply issues.
Oh yeah.
Demand was twice what it was prior to COVID.
Like,
no?
I would say even a lot more than that.
Yeah?
A lot more, like really, really full on. And this is again, like, Larry's a genius. Like I tell people like, oh, what's Larry like? I'm like, first of all, he's like a legend. Like anything, like any business, everything flows from the top. So if the owner of a business is a champion, you pretty much guaranteed all the staff underneath are going to be the same.
Yeah.
And classic example with ASK. But he's very, very, very clever. He saw what was happening and stood his didn't change things. Like, our factory started bricking it. Oh, you're going to cancel your orders? And he's like, no. Keep it. We're going to need it. It's fine. We'll keep our relationships.
Yep.
So we'll able to hold and survive comfortably, for quite a considerable amount of time when other businesses and other big companies I'm fortunate enough to be, close to, cancelled their orders, which was really detrimental and sad for a lot of companies that manufactured. But ours were just like stood strong, like, no, we won't cancel the thing. It's totally fine. And then because of that, we were able to maintain,
Well, it's
pricing.
that respect with your suppliers, isn't it? It's
Not a
that,
hard formula.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Mav, I think we've got, on the AS website, we've got a list of where your stock actually comes from. Do you mind us having a look at that?
Yeah, of course.
So I was actually quite interested because obviously you trade in cotton generally. So for those people that don't know, AS Colour specialise in cotton items. Now,
Yeah.
define quality when we're talking to cotton versus other fabrics. So your average T-shirt, 180 GSM, okay? 180 GSM is the weight of the fabric, correct?
Yeah.
You call it 28 singles. What's
Oh, that's the US. That's a US thing. It's like the whole metric imperial or whatever. We're here in Australia. We go GSM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 180 GSM,
180
which is
GSM.
like your staple tee, your standard tee, 100% cotton.
Yeah.
Now, with any T-shirt, it's about the quality of the cotton and the manufacturing.
Yeah, definitely.
does it-
It comes down to, the weave and like the process that the cotton goes through. Like cotton isn't just, like obviously it has to go through a milling and ginning process, and we go through a very extensive process, like all from the picking all the way up to the garment being made. Obviously, combing the cotton will remove the short fibers and create long fibers. And that's kind of that's what ends up creating kind of the best possible weave for us. our weave is super tight, super smooth. Doesn't have those little, kind of like kiwi fruit hairs. That's
Soft.
why, yeah,
Soft.
super
People,
soft.
it's funny how people perceive quality in a t-shirt. Some people perceive quality as it being heavier,
Yeah.
so a heavier t-shirt, which I personally don't like. Some people prefer a lighter weight. Obviously, it comes down to the cut, but obviously the manufacturing of it and the quality and care that takes
Yeah.
it. So cotton doesn't change with it. There's no. Are we talking about
Nah,
various
cotton
types
quality
of
as
cotton?
well. Oh, yeah,
there
God,
is.
yeah.
So there's grades of cotton.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. We buy on a we buy kind of mixed. We actually do use a bit of Australian cotton in our garments.
That's good to
But we
know.
also buy on a open market as well. So basically, it's like an open market. Like, here's the crap, here's the best stuff, and we just go for the best stuff.
Okay, so
Hence-
are you making those transactions in cotton for your manufacturers, or is that part of the manufacturing process that you're involved in with your factories?
Yeah, so that's part of it. So we'll obviously buy the cotton, create the fabric, for them, and then they'll, one part will create the fabric, and then so on, and passes. Like, people don't realize, like, a t-shirt passes through like a lot of hands, like pretty much. You could say probably approximately 100 hands for
To
a
make one t-shirt
Yeah,
from the fiber.
from the cotton to from picking the cotton to
It's
wearing
amazing.
it on you is like minimum. I'd say nearly a minimum 100, like a lot of hands, because you got one person, people that, later rolling out, obviously
Yeah.
making it, and then whatever, and then just to make the pattern, one person that just cuts X amount, and then cuts the left panel, and then another person cuts the right panel, and it keeps going. It's really like
It's interesting, man. I
actually
did
love
not
it, but
know.
I always worry it's boring.
No, well, I mean, our viewers and our listeners want to know that sort of stuff because, they see a $6 shirt on the shelf at Kmart, but they have no fucking idea what went into producing that item.
Yeah.
But and also as we talked about the quality of items, as a decorator, the reason why your company is so successful is because you've got quality products that sit under our decoration. Now, our decoration could be mint, but if you printed it on a shitty product, say your silk screen printed on a product, and that product breaks down behind our decoration, our silk screen, our screen print, it's not the print that's gone to shit, it's the fibre of the fabric of the t-shirt underneath it, which people don't understand. People want cheap promotional items, and then they want you to decorate it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, which is why you guys are the number one brand in Australia for decorators. And there's people that only use your products. There's nothing
really
else.
fortunate.
Nothing else enters their factories. How good's that to know that?
It's good, and that's things like that are where I really, really love my job. And when as you know, screen printing, I did it, and it's it's not the best job. It is a tough job.
It sucks.
It's especially in summer on a 40 degree, let's just say 40 degree day, and you got a 180 degree tunnel. It's if you're not drinking 4 liters of water in that day, you're in trouble. It's tough, and it's so messy, and it's it's a really so that's the people that are really good at it. Like it can be an art form.
It is an art form.
got,
It is, mate. It is.
There's ones that I really keep an eye on, and just every time they post something, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's mental. And that's that's really, really what I love. And then seeing people go from oh, we're just a small little operation, and then they just boom. And
They have so much pride in their products as well too.
Yeah.
And that's, as I said, that's the reason why As Colour's the number one choice for decorators.
Well, we listen as well. You got to listen to people on the front lines.
It's the same with
That's what a lot of
it's the
people
same with
don't
any
do.
business though, isn't it? Any industry, any business. I mean, listen to your clients. What are they wanting? What do they need? If I'm trying to sell you a product and it's not what you want, well, I'm wasting my time.
Well, I've worked for companies where I'm like, oh, all the customers are asking this, and they're too bad.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that's why I'm like a spoiled brat child at AS Colour. I'm like, oh, Larry, everyone's asking for this. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Kiwis,
Yeah, but he's taking the advice of the people that he's hired to do a job.
Yeah.
And you're doing your job. That's, I think, as a Kiwi, that's all we expect. We don't want people to palm off or lay blame or just ignore something. do your fucking job.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's a good experience. Yeah.
Hey, let's go back to that. I'm interested about where all your stuff comes from, man.
This Buckfast stuff
Mate, there's more there,
I
mate.
gotta drive. Georgia, I just need to come pick me
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I call it my speaking juice.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm into that.
And it sounds good on the mic too. So now, for anybody that has bought a T-shirt, in the old days, a lot of stuff used to come out of China, cotton
Yep.
T-shirts, very low quality. Can you tell me why that was? Was it just because you're pumping out stuff for cheap and they didn't care?
That's pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's like, well, I don't know, like anything. If you get told that it's the best, or that's all that's on offer, and then all it takes is someone like a Larry to come in and be like,
Nah.
surely you can do better.
Yep.
And then research it, commit it, and they'll be like, oh, this is going to be more expensive than everything else that's on the market. But
You
there
get
is
what
a
you
need.
pay for. You get what you pay for, innit?
Exactly. And now the gap is so tiny. Like,
Yeah.
It's
So tell me why your cotton comes out of Bangladesh.
well, the cotton actually comes like it's sourced. Like,
Well, sorry,
yeah.
your cotton
t-shirts
T-shirts.
made in Bangladesh.
Yes.
They're produced in Bangladesh. It's like kind of pretty much to break it down real short. They just do the best at it. They're the best at it, like as far as T-shirt production and what they're set up for over there.
Has that always been the case, or is it just something that's developed?
I'm not too sure. I've like from my times in the garment game, it's never been that case. I'd say it's probably recent years, but for me, it's really kind of been kind of amplified, I guess, since working with AS Color, and I think since kind of I don't know for certain if the influence of AS Color has had any kind of play in it, but I feel like more and more people are going to Bangladesh. There's companies that were previously in other countries and have gone to Bangladesh.
Trying to meet that same quality that you're putting out.
Yeah, but obviously there was the big incident like years and years ago in Bangladesh, and that put a bit of a spotlight, and people kind of deterred by it.
What incident are we talking about?
With a factory burnt down and collapsed, and like heaps of workers perished in it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Can you Google that, Mav? Just on the side. So did you know that pretty much all the T-shirts manufactured in the world, well, not all, sorry, a majority of them come from Bangladesh?
A big chunk, but like I know
So
that they'll come from
they're
all
the
over
number.
places.
They're the number one exporter of cotton T-shirts.
I don't know. I would probably think that like kind of Latin America, maybe like Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua.
No, not according.
right.
No, not according
There
to
you
my.
go.
Not according to my research. So, the country that sells the most T-shirts, all right, we've got. Well, Bangladesh is second under China, and then Germany, Turkey, Vietnam.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've moved some production recently to Vietnam, which we're pretty excited. I'm personally very excited about.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been to Vietnam twice.
Awesome. It's a great place. Isn't it?
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I've got Vietnamese heritage.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Do tell.
my dad's Vietnamase.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, that's where the surname comes from, which shocks a lot of people because people, when I've call to book a meeting with them, or they, want to have a meeting with me, and then I turn up and they see me and they're like, can I help you? I'm like, yeah,
I'm the dude.
I'm Elijah. And they're like, oh, what? You're not Asian? I'm like, yeah, I am.
So is Elijah Asian or is it?
No, Elijah's Hebrew. It's Jewish.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So yeah, my mum. Well, this is the weirdest story, and this will really blow your mind. But my mum grew up in foster care, and only recently, probably about a month ago, found out where her actual family was through Ancestry.com or
really?
whatever. Yeah, she registered with one of them, and then found out, oh, you're part Italian. And my sister was like, oh, you're just saying, you're just wishing you're Italian because your best friend's Italian. So then mum did Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
And then got the results, and then pretty much someone just contacted and said, oh, look, notice that you've registered Ancestry.com. We're actually related, been looking for you our whole lives. We thought you were a cousin, but you're actually my half-sister.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Oh, insane.
Wow.
My mum has been looking for her family like her whole life. A whole lot.
How old's your mum, if you don't mind me asking?
64, I think, or 65.
Okay, still pretty young.
Yeah. Oh, she's got the mind of a 3-year-old most of the time as well. She's still a big kid, and
That's awesome.
She's got a good sense of humour. But yeah,
So you've got a new extended family you didn't know you had.
yeah. And my whole life, everyone's like, oh, like I've been to Italy, and people are like, oh, so you're Italian. I'm like, nah. I always thought I was German, Dutch, and Vietnamese. But yeah, then turns out I am. So now,
Wow, what a mix!
it's weird. So yeah, mum's German, Italian, and then
Really?
old man's Vietnamese. So most people refer to me as a mongrel or whatever. But I'll roll with hybrid.
I was gonna say Mungle's the 90s. We go hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid.
That sounds a lot better. Oh, that's a cool story, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's insane. So yeah, like she's gonna finally visit some full blood relatives in July. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. So Vietnam was number 5, which we now understand that they're doing a lot of manufacturing.
Yeah.
A lot of manufacturing. Do you know how many T-shirts are consumed or produced every year?
Oh God.
Come on, take a stab.
Couldn't even
Take a stab.
I know someone that is the facilitator just for what's that? Not Costco, that other place, Walmart.
Yeah.
50 million T-shirts a month.
Really? Well, that makes sense because according to this, is 2 billion T-shirts are sold each year worldwide. 2 billion.
That is insane, isn't it?
And when you think about, as we discussed, the amount of hours put into each T-shirt and every hand that's passed through, it's a lot of fucking hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's wild.
You did the math. So if we go back to your manufacturing process, or where you get stuff manufactured, what are you looking for, Mav? Or are you looking for that tragedy in, where was it? In Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't find that?
Oh, no, I found it. Give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. So you got a range of products being manufactured in various places.
Yeah, pretty much all T-shirts made in Bangladesh, and then everything else is pretty much China. So anything technical, anything that kind of requires, kind of crazy cut and sew or fabrications like polyesters and nylons and other polymers, China. And then recently we've just moved like one of our franchises, which is what, I guess what you call like a capsule in a range.
Yep.
So the Relax capsule franchise.
Man, that's sold well, eh? Hey?
Well, that's like one fun, exciting thing for me. But it's like, God, if we had it's really hard to know how much you're going to sell something that you've never had before.
Yeah.
So we forecast, pretty much we work on a 6-month forecast. So we'll bring out something brand new, never had before, and predict, okay, we'll order enough that we think we'll sell in 6 months' time, because that gives us enough time for the next shipment and to make any tweaks and changes maybe that might be needed. The Relax just was gone like that.
You fucking sell out really quick. It's frustrating from
I know.
from a consumer's point of view.
For me,
it's like, hey, we'll load all this new product onto our website, and it's like, yeah, it's new, get into it, and it's like, oh, stock's running out. Just people just jump on it. It's just crazy.
It's really fun, but there is obviously there's two sides to it. Like I cop a bit of a hiding as well. People are like, oh, you told us about this, and then we go to get it, and it's gone. I'm like,
you're faster than your last, mate.
And then there's people I'll tell, I'll genuinely say, like, oh, look, this is steaming. I would jump onto it. I know you've got, of course you'd say that, typical salesman. I'm like,
yeah,
don't be my guest,
mate. They should know better by now. I mean, you've got history. Have you got clients that stockpile this stuff and just hoard it?
I wouldn't say hoarding. Like they'll buy bulk so they can offer quick turnarounds, because in this day and age, as you know, everyone wants everything yesterday.
On demand. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Ridiculous.
Exactly.
So they're aware of that, and they cater to that. They'll get bigger, kind of facilities so they can do that, and they'll sit on, X amount of units or whatever, just so it's like, so someone calls like, oh, look, I've got an event.
Yeah.
That's all, and that's what it always is. It's people that just left everything to last minute, pretty much.
Everybody does it.
And this is an example that I always use. Like people that, Christmas Day, same day, every day.
Yeah.
25th
every
of
year.
December,
yeah,
every
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
For thousands of years, this is pretty much. But they're all Christmas Eve, oh, buddy, caught up on me. So, Well, it didn't, you idiot.
No.
It
Yeah.
didn't. You had 365 days since the last year. You're the idiot. And the same with people events, like same events every year. And then these poor screen printers get a hit up like 2 days before the event. Oh, I need 1,000 T's. Can you? And these poor screen printers, like they have that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
And contrary to what anyone thinks, there's not a lot in it.
Mate, the screen printing industry
It's tight.
has not changed their pricing for fucking decades. And if they have, they've been minuscule. I see a lot of stuff coming through COVID and post-COVID, these shops going, oh, should we raise our prices? I don't really want to do this and do that. It's like, have your prices gone up?
Yes.
Of course they fucking have.
I don't know. I'm well aware of it. It's
It's really frustrating. As a business owner, it's really frustrating. Like, these people have all the resources available to them, yet they still make silly decisions about how their business runs. They're worrying about keeping a specific client happy. The client in this day and age should understand inflation, should understand cost of living. The prices are going to go up. They've gone up. Everything's gone up. Nothing has been untouched by inflation caused by COVID.
Oh,
And a lot of people saw that coming. A lot of people didn't. Caught a lot of people on the back foot, especially with mortgages. But, man, if you're charging the same prices post-COVID, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, mate. But that's the thing. Like, I was screen printing when I was 18. A can of Coke, like the machine from where, like, I'll probably show my age now, but the Coke machine just up from where I worked was 50 cents a can of Coke. Hey, it's like $4.20 or whatever. It's really, and like everything else has kind of gone that way. Screen printing pricing hasn't. And and I get people call me up. Oh, can you somehow get my details? I don't know freaking how, but it's painful. Oh yeah, I want to can you recommend another screen printer? And I'm like, first of all, no, but why?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting charged like the cost of a coffee sometimes.
Yeah.
Two cups of coffee for a custom made T-shirt for them, their design, their print on like a high quality T-shirt for 2 cups of coffee, and they want cheaper. And they're selling them for like $50. It's out of control.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, and it's can be tough out there. And as you know, it's so meager.
It is a tough industry. It's horrible, and for those people, those businesses that just screen print, and they haven't diverted or pivoted to maybe direct to film or direct to garment, or don't even have embroidery. I mean, Jesus, these companies that are turning over millions of dollars and making fucking nothing. Yeah. It's just insane. It's just insane. But the stats on online purchasing, fashion is number one in the world.
Ridiculous.
For online purchases. And that was prior to COVID. COVID's just made it even better than what it was. And it's just insane.
All the habits are there. Everyone had habits. That's the thing. Like pre-COVID, wouldn't be too many packages rocking up to my house. Tell you what, at COVID, got pretty chummy with all the
Did you go bunter? Did you over the?
I didn't.
No, the missus.
I didn't.
Oh,
but I like that's totally fine. Like I totally understood it.
Yeah.
I saw it, and but those habits, like we're well out of COVID, and those habits are still there.
Well, that's because they're convenient. I mean, COVID was great in a lot of ways for a lot of industries. And especially for technology with regards to online and online platforms and just anything to make your life easier.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, and I've talked about a lot of businesses that we've dealt with here, and they had online platforms ready to go prior to being shut down. Places like gyms and runners and stuff like that. And they had to implement the stuff that they were working on and sort of rush it through. But now it's the best thing that's ever happened to their businesses. So, cause and effect. I mean, a lot of people did it really tough, and it was a shitty period, especially for Victorians.
It was real tough. And that was one of the hard things coming back. People that I'd loved and worked with for years previous to that. When I finally came back to work properly, like, oh look, we're back, and sent out a big pretty much industry nationwide email. The amount of hitbacks that I got of businesses, this domain name doesn't exist.
Really? You got a percentage of your clientele that would have fallen by the wayside?
No, I don't. But if I had to, like, maybe ballpark, could have kind of guessed. I'd say like 15, around about that, maybe
Yeah.
10 to 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was certain industries, certain industries that weren't able, just really couldn't, like their business was really dependent on everything outside of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas, as you know, as a decorator, it's like tradies were fortunately able to still work. So then high vis was the saving grace for a lot of decorators out there.
Yep.
You know,
That's the one thing that kept us going. We did
Yeah.
a lot of high vis vests.
Yeah.
COVID Marshall vests coming out our wazoo.
Perfect.
So you just pivot. We had to do it, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
But the industry, as I said, the industry's stronger and better, I think, through everything that we've come through.
Well,
I mean, you look at your business. I mean, you've got your product range has pretty much doubled,
Oh yeah, it's
at least since COVID.
it's pretty intense.
Was that a natural cause prior to COVID? Was that the business plan?
The business plan was just to survive COVID, pretty much.
Okay, well, so prior to COVID hitting, you had a clear outlook on where the business was going, where the company was going, and what products you were going to implement. Correct?
To a certain degree, like that's the thing. We're always constantly. This is like, I mean, what I think. Again, hats off to Larry. Like noticing other companies that just didn't listen to what other people wanted or didn't add, and that's the thing. When I started, like working with a company, I'd approach it with with such trepidation about, oh look, everyone's asking for this. Is this something we could possibly look at? And they're like, and we'll just say yes. So then I changed the kind of how we approached working with crew like yourself, and not just as far as garments go, but also as far as like the services. What are the issues? And people are like, oh mate, you need to sort this out. Oh, you guys, this, and just keep moving and adapting, and then keep changing. That's why you see things that keep getting added into the range. Some people that aren't on the front foot in the industry will be like, what's the go with it? Why have you guys added this in the range? And then we'll have to be like, oh, it's come from this industry. We're getting a lot of questions of that. Oh, that makes sense. And then you see the light bulb, and then they're like, oh, we've got customers that bang, bang, bang done. And then it goes like that. But a lot of people, I know there's people out there that have asked us for stuff, and then we've done it, and they're like, oh, that was all because of me. And I'm like, actually, yeah, you were quite in.
It's pretty cool.
Oh,
to influence a supplier like yourself.
It's really fun, and that's the end. I know a lot of people when I go in, I'm still old school, pen and paper in a notebook when I sit in a meeting, and then I'll go back and then collate all my notes and do a report, and then send it to the team. And a lot of people can say is that, oh, that was because of me, and I can pinpoint so many people around the country. I'm like, oh, that was because of you, or because you said that. And I'm like, yep, that is from me. And for me, that's where it's really fun, because I've never really had that luxury in any other businesses or companies or whatever that I work for in my professional career.
And there's so many other people that take advantage of that, those changes that you've made, as they come along, which is fantastic. So if I suggest something, and then another supplier benefits from that, and the product's implemented, it's a win-win for everybody.
Well, that's it.
So being an online platform with Holy Shirt, if I don't have a product on my platform, I can't sell it. So for me, it doesn't matter what I think personally about the product. I can't sell it if it's not on there. My customers will make their mind up.
Yeah.
And that's the ethos that we use at Holy Shirt, is that we need to make sure that everybody that deals with us across our platform, our existing clients, know that we have these products and they're available to do what they want with it.
Yeah.
Which is exciting as well too, because I'll look at something and I'll go, yeah, doesn't spin my wheels. And then I chuck it up there and the sales just keep coming through. And it's like, this is insane.
It's super exciting.
It's like, how many different T-shirts can you have? How many different hoodies can you have? And there's all these variations on stuff. But if you've been in the industry long enough, you know that people just want something different. They want something new. They want something a little bit edgy. And in the fashion industry, it's fickle, but it's not. It's a supply and demand situation where you create something. There may not be the demand for it, but if you supply it, the demand may come.
Yeah.
You know, which is pretty good. Hey, what's your best item in AS Colours catalogue? What's your favourite item? What's your best product?
Me personally?
You personally, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, come on, man. Question.
We just brought out the new college bomber, so which is the update to the previous one. So again, a good example. The previous college bomber we had the black and white striping on the trims on the neckline.
Well, Mav can bring it up. Go to AS Colour, mate.
Yeah.
So I want to see this
So
product.
that was the previous one, and then some feedback where like, oh, you know, some people find that the black and white stripes, it's too Collingwood Football Club, so it's a bit of a deterrent.
Yeah.
And so we've just like, okay, fine.
Just go to jackets, mate. Go to men's and then go to jackets.
Jesus, this is slick.
Is that the one top left?
Yeah.
Or slide
That's
up?
it.
Yeah, the 555
Is that
one.
Google listening to us talking about it?
Yeah, probably. So we've done a men's and women's version of that as well, but now it's full solid black, and already like straight out the gates we dropped it last week, the week before I think it was, and just steaming.
Mate, it's
So,
a good
and
looking
again, that's
jacket.
all from feedback. It was just like,
man.
okay, fine. And then people, you know, there's some companies out there that do a lot of work for security companies.
Yeah.
And do a security guard jacket, but
Yep.
I mean, huge industry where, and again, the previous one didn't have the zipper access at the bottom, so you could decorate it.
Oh, yep.
So the new one has a zipper at the bottom, so you can get in and embroider it and screen print it and whatever, and then you don't have, you know, like it's a beautifully nice
Yeah.
finished product instead of having like the backing exposed.
Well, it's
or-
all those little nuances that make those products just desirable
Yeah.
from your client's point of view. So our listeners and our viewers that didn't quite understand that.
Oh yeah.
So no, that's right. So if you embroider something, if you put it straight onto the machine, it will go through from the front to the back.
Yeah.
Whereas your jackets have a little zip access pocket which you can feed through.
Yeah, feed
and so it's hidden behind the internal
Yeah,
lining.
yeah.
So
And then if you didn't have that with screen print, you can't screen print it, as you know.
no, exactly.
Because it'll shift and move
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Oh, sure. You wouldn't even. I wouldn't even go there.
No, well, and that is the thing as well. Most people, you just couldn't. If someone's like, oh, so AS Colour's got this, and if it doesn't have access, then screen
Yeah.
Oh no.
So see, that's the thing. When you're designing a product, you're looking at all these factors, and it's not just the look, the cut, the style.
Everyone involved.
It's the decorators, it's the embroiderers, it's everybody that's going to touch that thing, and then take your blank product and create it into their client's wishes.
Yeah.
That's that's amazing as a business you're thinking forward 2 or 3 steps, which I mean it goes with.
Again, it's from feedback, and I don't know. It's by some weird sheer fluke. I don't know if it's deliberate, but you know, like myself, and then we've got like, you know, teams like crew in the US, in the UK, and NZ have all got backgrounds, really strong backgrounds in screen printing. We've got, you know, like our weapon Wyatt Strassner over in the US, absolute legend, come from screen printing.
Yeah.
And then Wes, who's our like newest member over in the UK, had his own screen printing business as well. And then same with Isaac.
Does that mean I can get a job when I retire?
We'll have you on board, mate. We'll have you. You'll school us.
I make good coffees, mate.
I've never had a cup of coffee in my life, so it means
Oh,
nothing
really?
to me.
You're not a coffee drinker?
Never had a
We're
cup.
learning all this stuff about
Yeah.
you, mate. It's amazing. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I've got a personal like scarred from it, like and a fear of it, I guess.
Well, do tell me. You've never had a cup of coffee? You've had a cup of coffee and
Never. I've been served like 2 accidentally. I'm a hot chocolate.
You're a hot chucky.
Yeah, but
You're just like Mav.
but not too long ago, yeah, I got given someone's like, oh, here's your hot chocolate, and they must have put the wrong lid on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just spat it out. Like I have no control over it either. It's not like I could
Yeah.
be sensible and swallow it and be like, that was the wrong one. It was just auto
Yeah.
shoot out. It just tastes, for me, it just tastes like what potting mix, like dirt.
That's fair enough.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
But also scarred, like from those people like a previous boss of mine from years and years and years ago smoked cigarettes, drank coffee, and chewed extra chewing gum, and I was like, it was the combo of hell.
Oh.
So like now when I smell coffee, I'm like, I just don't want any sort of. It's weird.
Yeah, and as you say, you associate that smell with ciggies as well too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never smoked cigarettes either. No.
Oh, good on you.
Oh yeah.
I did. I'm that boss that you were talking about.
Oh, tough.
When I was younger, I used to smoke Marlboro Reds, mate. Yeah, hardcore.
For 51, looking I mean, sorry,
Well, I
50, for
stopped.
looking
I stopped in my mid-30s, but yeah, I smoked a packet a day for a long time.
Jeez.
Went through the energy drink phase, and drank a lot of coffee, a lot of sugar. Yeah.
That's like my-
These
yeah.
are not all my own teeth.
I mean, my younger brother, God bless him, love him to death. He's 5 years younger than me, but he smokes like a chimney and drinks all those.
It looks like an old man.
Everyone's like, oh, so how much older are you than Elijah? And he's like,
Oh no,
I'm the younger one.
that sucks. That sucks being the younger one.
tough gig.
Yeah. No, I learned a long time ago that I wanted to live a little bit longer than the trajectory I was on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, I think we might take a break, eh? This podcast is brought to you in part by Buckfast. What is Buckfast, you ask? Well, let me tell you. It's better known as Bucky, and it's an internationally enjoyed, unique tasting tonic wine. It's equally rich in heritage as it is in taste. It packs a punch from 15% alcohol and about the same amount of caffeine as a well-known drink that gives you wings. Buckfast's enjoyment is only rivaled by its versatility from the cooking pot to the wine or cocktail glass. Drink it straight, mix it in a Negroni, or use it as a marinade. Available Australia-wide and distributed by Beeblebrox Beverages. Visit beeblebrox.com.au to find your closest stockist and buckfast.com for cocktail and recipe ideas. We're back.
Nice.
Hey man, talking about consumable products, what do you reckon the most consumed product in the world is? Well, what would you think that would be?
Well, my first instinct was
Yeah?
first I went like toilet paper, but I'm like, oh no, not many countries there's not actually a lot of countries that have toilet paper. And then I did, like you said, thought,
It's water, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, it makes total sense.
it does. And what about the second largest product consumed in the world? And I wouldn't have got this if I didn't know. We were talking about it in the break.
I would not have guessed concrete.
Concrete.
Meant this
Fucking concrete. It's crazy. I think we're in the wrong game, mate.
so wild.
But you were saying you reckon there's going to be a shortage of concrete and glass.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. Like, yeah, I know because that there's that show, Blow Up. That's all glass blowers, and they mention that in it. It's like that art of glass blowing and that all those fine glasses and all those nice. We're running out of it because we keep using sand, which is obviously glass, for concrete.
Surely
And
we're
then
not going to run out of sand.
Well, look at what's happening. Like people are pinching sand from New Zealand, from beaches in New Zealand, and then sending it to countries where they don't have sand on their beaches.
They should be fucking shot.
Oh, mate, I'm with you there.
stealing our good
Yeah.
bloody sand, bro.
Yeah, on their stone shitty beaches covered in ciggy butts.
Man, so we know that fashion items are some of the top selling products in the world. Did we touch on what your favorite item was? Did you say
Look, I'd say
if you could have something new, fashion item, new every day, what would you pick? What would you pick?
Like I say this quite often to a lot of people. Like if I was like a dirty, stinky, filthy, rich millionaire those weird millionaires that just do weird things and spend ridiculous money.
Don't they all?
Well,
They've all got
yeah.
their quirks, haven't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody's got their own quirks. It's just the money makes it fucking amplified.
Exactly. For me, I would new pair of socks and a new pair of undies every day.
Really?
And it'd be so. I know it's so stupid and wasteful. But that'd be like, just give me that one thing, people.
Would you have your servant put them in the dryer
I wouldn't have a servant.
for like
I couldn't do
2 minutes so they're hot and toasty on your balls?
it. Actually, maybe I would.
Yes, of course you would.
That's
Why
pretty
wouldn't
nice.
you?
That's adding a lot more.
I've just got this mental picture of you just with this look on your face as you pull your hot undies on.
It's like Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. Go down that part, but yeah, definitely nothing beats brand new socks. Actually, nothing beats getting a pedicure and then having brand new socks put on.
Are you joking?
Mate?
Is it pedis your feet and manis your hands?
Manis your hands.
Really? Are you doing something that I don't know about?
Mate, pedicure. That's the thing. I got mates of mine that, I wouldn't do that. You're an idiot. Oh, that's lame. Oh. Mate, you get a brand new set of feet. Imagine getting a brand new set of feet that have like just been like, it's amazing. And then brand new socks. You walk out like you're like not even walking on the ground. Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant.
You
Because I
say
was that person. I was like, oh, I'm not doing that.
you say that, but I can't imagine you doing Kokoda. Because it would.
I've done the Himalayas.
It would fuck your feet.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be you'd just be distraught at your feet every night.
Destroyed.
It's like, oh my god.
But then you do it afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's when you need a new set.
That's a good thing to know about
Yeah.
you, mate. You like your feet.
I mean, there's plenty of things that people, but probably weird people out there. Like, what?
Would you call that a fet fetish? Or
Foot
a
fetish?
foot
Nah,
fetish?
nah,
a
God, no.
Foot fetish, no?
No, because I've like.
But you like good feet.
Oh yeah,
Do
definitely.
you like other people's good feet?
No,
No?
just the wife.
Just yours.
Yeah, that's the wife.
Does she approve?
Yeah, definitely. She's got bloody model feet. She could model her feet.
Oh,
Whereas
really?
mine have evidence of years.
You've heard of OnlyFans.
skateboarding abuse.
You've heard of OnlyFans, haven't you? Get her to work.
Well,
Get
that's
her to
that.
work.
Wait, no, we actually had this conversation. Like, apparently, is there only feet or something like that? Like that's the app is just feet or whatever.
Oh, is there a new app that's only
I don't
feet?
know.
May have
I
checked that
don't
out.
even
I just
try
thought it
keeping
was like
up these days.
There is.
there is. There really?
I don't know if it's called own.
Was it only toes or
only
something like
feet.
something
Let's
weird?
search this shit up.
I thought it was just like OnlyFans, and then I had a section of feet. Because not that I've
apparently
never
a
been
whole
on there.
separate- No, I got no idea.
So you got an Insta account. You got a fun with feet. Only feet. The original feet pics.
How do you know this, Maverick?
I've fucking heard about people.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Easy, Tiger.
I've heard about people talking about it, and it's not.
Jesus.
Jeez. I wish I didn't know about it, but
Okay.
I mean, you can't choose really.
Well, let's not put it on, Nick.
Yep.
Elijah might
Just-
get excited.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I think it's actually gross, and I feel like, and initially, when like my wife's like, "Oh, come and do it with me," I'm like, "Nah, that's I'm not. That's I'm a man. I don't do that."
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like,
Was
broke.
it
And
during?
did
I
the,
was going to say it wasn't during COVID, was it?
no,
'Cause you
no, no,
couldn't go out of
no.
the
But I
house.
did like better do the good partner.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
supporting your.
"Oh, mate, the penny drop." I'm like, "Oh, you girls have kept this a bloody secret."
Wow.
Oh, amazing.
Have you done that? Have you done the one with the fish?
Yeah,
Where-
yeah, I'm obsessed with that. George can't do that, but I've done that in
It's
in
freaky.
all through age. I love it. I think
I
I've
did
done
it-
the full pool.
Oh,
like,
really?
full under and like you have fish eating your eyelids.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
insane.
I'm all in.
I think I did it in Sicily, of all places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just something to do on a Sunday afternoon and in amongst day drinking.
Yeah, I think I've done it like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand.
Oh, of course.
it,
They're all,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
What else are you going there for?
Yeah,
The Barmies?
Oh, mate, don't get me started.
Oh.
Good.
Okay, well, no, let's talk about Barmies. Because, I mean, look, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know what a Barmy
Banh
is,
mi? Oh, yeah.
you can fuck off.
It's a French
So-
baguette, the
Yeah.
Vietnamese baguette, which has obviously come from the
What's the French-
colonization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were in Hanoi in a museum, and we were looking at all this stuff, and it was all about the French and how much of a pack of bastards they were. And I'm telling my wife, I go, these guys are fucking savages, you know. And then I hear the couple next door to us talking French. It's like,
I love that.
damn, I
That's-
hope you heard every fucking word of that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Because you were fucking assholes.
Well, that's mate. You go to Egypt, and then if you're a Greek person going to Egypt, tough gig.
Man,
Because it's just like, oh yeah, the Greeks came here and they destroyed this. You're like, ooh, probably
there's a
shouldn't
lot
have.
of nasty shit going on in history.
Oh, man.
Anyway, getting back to my item that I'd like to
Yeah,
put
yeah.
on. I'd like to put on if I was rich enough, which I'm probably bordering on that. Right? I mean, t-shirts are cheap. A t-shirt,
Yeah.
a black t-shirt, nice cut, just fresh. Got no fluff on it.
Very nice way to feel
Smells
special.
new. Yeah, walk out the door feeling like $1 million. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
No, I can relate to that. That's for sure.
Hey, talking about t-shirts, have you seen the dude that did the Guinness?
I heard
We
about
reckon,
it. I
yeah?
actually haven't seen it.
Man, pull it up. It's pretty cool. So, do you know how many t-shirts that he put on in the Guinness? So this is about the world record for the most t-shirts worn by one person. How many t-shirts do you
I
reckon
feel
it
like
was?
it's going to be something ridiculous, but I want to say like I don't know, like what is there like one like this the extra small, so he's got to be an extra small.
Oh,
up
you
to,
can't
like,
think. I don't think you can think
10XL.
that way. I don't think you think
okay.
that way. Pull a
I want
number,
to say like 40.
dude.
Oh,
well off.
God.
Well off.
What?
Play the video, Mav. 260.
Oh, God.
200. Here we go. This is it, mate. Look at that physique. And just to give you some context, if we're talking about
Oh, my God. This is legit, eh?
a standard t-shirt being what, 180 GSM?
Yeah.
So if we explain GSMs, it's about 180 grams.
Grams per square meter.
Yeah. So I calculate that he's put on 47 kgs worth of t-shirts. There you go. That's 100.
Whoa, that's wild.
So Ted used the event to raise money for... Just missed out on that. Look at that.
Like,
Ted said he was flipping through a Guinness World Records book with his 11-year-old son and become inspired to attempt his own record. I wonder what the previous record was. Look, that was only 130.
I want to know what size these t-shirts are. And like, because they're made for people that are that size.
Oh, I reckon they've probably done some
It said earlier it was up to 20XL.
20 XL.
20XL.
Yes, that's how big it is.
Jesus.
So
Is
it's
that
from
what they're up to in the
10XL to
States?
20XL, right up there.
Yeah, that's 20 XL. You really got to hang up the gloves at around about 4 XL, don't you? And be like, oh, I've got to hit the treadmill.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, you can't
Unless
even
it's,
see.
yeah.
You can't even see. You can't even I was like, you all right? You still alive in there?
It's like Humpty Dumpty.
260 t-shirts. There you go, mate. Congratulations.
That last t-shirt, someone is that size.
Yeah, they're probably manufactured over. I mean,
Surely there's got to be like a rule
Well, okay,
with Guinness
so-
you can't just make up. Otherwise, you could just go up to 50 XL and I'll run 400 t-shirts.
well,
gotta surely-
well, there's obviously, yeah, exactly. But
20 XL.
man, the most.
we get asked up to 10.
I know some of my suppliers go 9 and 10 XL.
Yeah, we get asked for it.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
well, it's just people don't understand what goes into adding one single SKU, into a range.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you guys should just do this. Oh, okay, we'll do it. It's costly and it takes time.
Yeah, exactly. Leave that sort of stuff for other people, you know. And polyester lends itself more to
Yeah.
those oversized stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we were talking earlier about obviously cotton and the producers of Bangladesh produces most of the cotton t-shirts, and then behind that China produces the most non-cotton. So
Yeah.
we're talking about polyester. So for people listening, polyester is a non-organic fibre. It's artificially made.
Yeah.
And most of it's coming out of China, and most of it's dye supplement. So it's printed. So you see that sporting gear that your son's wearing at footy, that comes out of a factory in China,
Yeah.
and it's actually made from a white base, and then they dye sublimate it with the decoration, which is it's an interesting process. You know, you obviously know how it works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they print the design on a transfer paper and then press it onto the
Press it
fabric.
in, it goes into the fabric.
Yeah, so it actually turns from a solid to a gas and then back to a solid again, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Like,
Who came up with that? Who came up with that? That's
Right.
bonkers. And it washes and wears beautifully. You know, it's completely different to screen printing where you're putting ink into the fabric of the item. It becomes part of the fabric, part of the fibre of it.
It's wild.
It's insane. So as we talked about the makeup of the fabrics, the idea behind AS Colour was premium products, generally cotton,
Yeah. Yeah.
and 99.9% of your range of clothing is cotton.
Vast majority of it, but now like all the polymers and nylons, like the polyesters and nylons and stuff, we've all transitioned to recycled plastics. So it's all GRS certified and all from like landfill plastics.
It's all sustainable. It's
Yeah.
all eco.
Yeah. Hasn't been easy. We kind of like was like the technology just needed to wait for it to catch up to be able to produce the quality that we required.
Well, the good thing about it is there's a lot of industries and companies that are investing in this
Yeah.
technology to take those products and recycle them and to make clothing is
Yeah,
just
it's brilliant.
it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
So as far as recycled clothing, are you aware of the stats of how much clothing gets recycled on a yearly basis? Is that something that comes across your desk and you're sort of looking
We get asked
about
a lot.
sustainability?
We get asked to develop a recycled cotton t-shirt. So you're getting, and there's things going on. I can't say too much right now, but a recycled cotton t-shirt we've been working on and developing for. I say we, not me. Stephen Yang is our production
Well,
manager.
you're part of the crew, man.
I can't take any credit. But our production team, which is led by Stephen, absolute gem of a human being. Very rare human being. I love him so much. Very, very focused on, but again, that's the quality is the side of things. And it's been developed for a long time. I've seen a lot of prototypes and we're like, it's not good enough for the market. It's not what we need. It doesn't match the rest of our range or whatever.
So technically, a recycled cotton T-shirt is taking an old cotton T-shirt,
Smashing it up into
smashing it up like
Yeah.
you do with a plastic bottle, and then
then remaking it.
remaking
into
it.
yarn.
What's the biggest hurdle with doing that process? Do you know?
Pretty much being able to, so like I said, like the combing process, removing the shorter fibers, and then to create the flat, super flat and smooth print face of our garments, which
Yep.
we're known for.
Yep.
It's at this stage not really possible. The technology is not quite there yet, so it's kind of like a bit. The way I kind of liken it to like a kiwi fruit or something, really quite fuzzy, so you don't get the nice soft smooth printability and the nice soft smooth feel. And
Do you use that analogy a lot because it's a Kiwi company? Do you
no,
like kiwi fruit?
actually, I love kiwi fruit actually.
They're amazing.
One of the team at work, they're Kiwi, and they're like, "What do you mean you eat kiwi fruit with the skin on?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, of course, like it's delicious, but no, I usually say like I'll actually liken it to like a spider's leg, like the hair of a spider's leg.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it's like, that all that defib, that fury when you look across a terrible tea, not going to go naming any, and then you can see when you look
Go on.
across the plane
Go
of
on,
it.
name one.
No, that's not my style. I'll let everyone else do that work. No, but
There's plenty out there though, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately there is, but hey, I've got to be the nice guy and say that everything serves a purpose. But
Yeah.
look, if you want a Rolls Royce, you're not going to settle for a Kia Cerato or whatever.
But that's the thing though. You're not making your products unobtainable.
Not at all.
You know, you've slotted into that market segment that was asking for the products that you're supplying. And if you think about your biggest consumer are the decorators, you've given them everything they've asked for.
And we've done the hard yards, we've done the mistakes, we've done all the back and forth, the prototyping, the development. And that's the thing. That's kind of where it's come from. People that want to, we're going to go offshore and do our thing, and because this quality is crap, it's like, well, now we don't have to go offshore. We just go to AS Color.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, they'll come to me, and I'll be like, I steer everything away from me. I shouldn't say steer everything, but, if a gym or clothing brand or like, we want to start up our own clothing label, I'm like, you're wasting your time with me. Go speak to Brendan. I'll just handle.
No, don't fucking send them to me. I'm
But
busy.
I'll send them to the right avenue
Yeah,
that works
yeah,
out better
exactly.
for them. It's more,
Yeah.
more economical,
Yeah.
more cost effective, and just better service.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, if I do this way, it'll work out better for me. But I'm like, no, go to whoever that'll, no matter whatever the service is, whatever they're, I'll find out what they're after.
The amount of inquiries I get on a weekly basis. Oh, I've got my own label. I want to start up my own. It's like, no.
I'm sure Mav's got some mates that have been hassling him to like.
No, they don't. I don't think they
Really?
know. No, we
Oh,
can.
okay,
No.
keep that a secret.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hush
they know what you do, and I've gotten some requests. Oh, can you
Yeah.
print?
Yeah, but
blah,
you
blah,
know
blah,
what
blah,
your
blah.
dad would say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm business to business only, man. That's where
Yeah.
that's where I've slotted myself in the market. Thank you very much.
If you're willing to pay, I'm sure. we
Hey,
can
when
sort
I
it
get
out.
that, my phone rings and I answer it. Oh yeah, I got your number from blah blah blah. I've got my own clothing. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And then I have to be very selective of
Yeah.
who I handball them to because
Yeah.
no, that's gonna shit them. Oh no, that's gonna shit them. But yeah.
Well, when
it's-
you look at the statistics, as we talked about prior, fashion and clothing is one of the number one products being consumed on the internet. So it is not that hard for somebody to get a range of products and put them online to sell.
oh, easier than ever. Anyone that says that it's harder now,
You've got on-demand printing. You've got a lot of places that will drop ship will drop shit for you.
boy, yeah.
All you got to do is sit behind your laptop in a cafe drinking a fucking latte and you're home and hose, which is what everybody thinks they can do.
Yeah.
They don't understand how much hard work it is to actually create a brand and to
It's
create
a lot of work.
a brand awareness and for people to come and consume your products. You know, it's not as easy as what a lot of people think. You know, so if you're thinking about doing it, you know, just take heed, do your research.
Don't
but
contact me.
don't contact Elijah or me, and make sure you use AS Color because you guys do relabeling and
Yeah.
all the services. So
That's what a lot of people don't realize. There are like a lot of brands out there they're purchasing or whatever. It's just our stuff with the label taken out, which is perfect. That's what
I can pick it a mile away. I mean, one of my friend's girlfriends, it was like, that's an AS crew. I can see that. You know, I could even pick the size, which I didn't tell her what it was because
Yeah.
that's rude. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
Always go. The secret is to always go 2 sizes under what they.
Oh, it's the same with age. Like, you're 25, aren't you? Because anything over 25 is just an insult.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to go down. You don't want to go down that path.
But in saying that, my brother's a classic example. One time he's like, "Oh, check out this T-shirt I bought. It was $70." I'm like, "Oh, that was one of ours." He's like, "Oh, that's bullshit." I'm like, "It's AS." He's like, "Yeah, but that means that they this." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're always going to pay that price no matter what. Would you prefer a piece of shit T-shirt from China or
Yeah.
printed on
Knowing
a
it's a
quality?"
quality-
It
yeah,
was
exactly.
always about the brand. That's
Yeah.
all it was. You know.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, cool." I said, "Well, now you know you're going to get at least 100 washes out of it. And it's not even going to be." He's like, "Okay, yeah, cool." Well,
We're talking about washes. We're talking about washes of T-shirts, and we're talking about the quality of the garment. Now, a T-shirt is going to get washed more than any other item, as opposed to like a hoodie or a crew. What's the standard in the industry now for a product to last per wash or the amount of washes? Is there one? Do you guys throw these figures around?
Well, I mean, internally we do, but we also, I'd work with decorators and printers. They do their own testing. Like, I don't know if I'd name companies, if I should name companies, but they'll do the wash and testing. They've got washing machines themselves in their factories, and they're like, as soon as we bring out a new color, a new style, they'll just keep washing.
Oh,
and
really?
washing. Yeah.
I've done that when we shifted to direct to film.
Oh yeah.
I wash test and color tested for about 6 months before we changed over to that system.
Yeah. Smart.
Well, it's
Real smart.
There's no point having a system that's when it goes out the door. And the thing is that every item that we sell has washing instructions.
Yeah.
What are the perfect washing instructions that AS Color recommend?
Pretty much like everything. Don't put it in the don't hot wash and
So
don't
cold
chuck it
wash
in the
only?
dry.
Yeah.
Cold wash and air dry.
And hang dry.
But like obviously, like majority, like 90, I'd say like 98% of our range is pre-shrunk. But then people got pre-shrunk means that it's like to minimize any shrinkage, really, really extremely minimal. So like the staple tee obviously has been pre-shrunk. So if you were to put it in a hot wash and then chuck it in the dryer, it's still only going to shrink probably maybe like 3%, which is extremely minimal. Where there's other suppliers out there will claim that it's pre-shrunk, or maybe it is, but it'll shrink 10, 15 more. I know there's companies out there. You wash the garment once and you can never wear it again.
Oh no, it's so if we explain that a little bit further to our listeners, so cotton doesn't like heat.
no natural fibers really do. That's why you get a wool jumper. If you put a wool
Exactly.
jumper,
It's just gonna-
hot wash and put a
Exactly.
wool, you never wear
So
it.
the-
Again.
so-
Your kid can.
So I always say to my wife, if you buy me something and it's too big, you could just chuck it in the wash and you
Yeah.
could shrink it like you do the rest of my shirts.
Yeah.
So she-
Oh, jeez, and you're still alive.
oh, she
Brave
hates
man.
she hates that. So as you're saying, so as part of the manufacturing process, you're pre-shrinking. So that's pre-shrinking the material before it's constructed.
Yep.
Not once it's constructed and
because
you got a
if
t-shirt.
If you construct it and then shrink it afterwards, that's gonna. Who's to say that everything will shrink together the same and then? Still,
Well, that makes perfect
Yeah,
sense, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, not for some companies. But yeah, I mean, again, like not everything in our range is pre-shrunk. There are some items like stuff that we get from certain areas or certain garments that aren't, like the heavy hood, heavy crew, and like the heavy franchise.
Yep.
So I'm wearing the heavy crew at the moment.
Yep.
And the heavy tee, the new heavy faded tee, and the heavy hood. That is not pre-shrunk, but again, because of our development and how we do it, like the max that like it only shrinks like 5% as opposed to 3% sort of thing.
So
it's
that's
really
not
minimal.
even. So if we're talking about degree of shrinkage, so one size would be how much shrinkage? 10, 15%?
Yeah, probably
So
about
to
that.
shrink one size, you're looking at a considerable.
Yeah,
considerable
considerable
amount.
amount. Yeah, yeah.
So something that's not pre-shrunk.
We just and then and even like that's the thing. Like, if we were to experience that, we would address it straight away.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. This podcast is brought to you by Holy Shirt Australia. Holy Shirt Australia are 100% online. They're Australia's largest no minimum custom print and embroidery company. All their services are completed in-house and they can deliver all orders promptly and professionally. They like to keep it simple and straightforward, so they offer cool stuff that can be custom printed or embroidered to your liking. They have an easy-to-use online designer to build your custom apparel from the comfort of your home or office. They offer pricing that reflects your individual order, and remember, they are no minimum on all their products. They deliver what the customer expects when they expect it. They've got over 1,500 products ready for you to custom print or embroider today, right now. So head to holyshirt.com.au for all your custom clothing requirements. Mate, you pretty much eat, drink, live, shit, clothing, AS Colour. You're a dedicated man,
Yeah.
yeah?
Probably to a detriment, if depending on who you talk to.
Does your partner complain that you work too hard?
No, she doesn't. That's how brilliant she is. But she has more than enough grounds to complain. She's done extremely well. She knows my my personal goals and what I wanted to achieve with the company. She's spent a lot of time by herself over the last 8 and a bit years.
Yeah.
I travel a lot for work.
Yeah, you do. But I mean, it was hard getting you locked down for this, but we got there in the end. But yeah, you do a lot. You do a lot, and as you say, you talk a lot continuously about the products that AS Colour provide, and just everything in the technical side. You've got decorators in your ear. You've got pricing increases. You've got stuff coming from left, right, coming from all over the place. What do you see AS Colour's trajectory from here on? And given that we've come out of COVID and we've had that adjustment and that increase in
I think, I feel extremely lucky, extremely fortunate that it started off in this little place called New Zealand, then let's give it a crack in Australia, and then now US, and then the UK. So the US, if you were to do it the other way around, big in the US, which others haven't, and then tried to come here, so it's totally we've kind of got a little bit of a crystal ball. So we've got, as you know, if you go to New Zealand, stores everywhere. It's AS Colour is street uniform. Every single person over there has AS Colour in their wardrobe.
so they should.
I agree. When I first started with AS Colour, people were like, what are you doing for work these days? I'm like, I work with this company, AS Colour. Never heard of it. Now,
Yep.
people are like, what do you do? I'm working for AS Colour. Oh, so does it mean I can get some free?
Yeah,
I
give me
love
some
that stuff.
free
I've got my
shit, bro.
cupboards full of it. I'm like, no chance. I feel bad. That one of my mates, he's got a massive business, a huge company, super successful.
Yeah.
All his uniforms are AS colour, and he's like, "Oh, so can I get an account with you and get it?" No,
Nah.
man, that's not how I operate.
No.
And yeah, he gets his stuff done through a company, a promo company, that's the thing, it works.
Yeah, the great thing, I'm just going to interrupt you
Yeah.
there before I forget, because the great thing about a lot of Kiwi companies is that New Zealand is a great testing ground for anything and everything. I
Yeah.
think FPOS, and you can probably don't quote me on this one, I'm pretty sure FPOS was trialled in New Zealand.
I'm pretty sure that as well. Yeah.
So if it didn't work there, it wasn't going to work anywhere. And there's been a lot of products and services that have done the same in the New Zealand market. And as you say, for a company to come from the old humble number 8 wire mentality, grassroots of New Zealand is amazing to go they're pretty much, you call them a global company now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In that short period of time, 2005, 2006, that trajectory is fucking immense. It's crazy.
And actually how it is at the moment. So, how things started in Australia, like Zeb Aiken, who's the previous GM. This guy, he's like a savant. He's crazy. His brain thinks on a totally different level. And what he laid the foundation here in Australia, he started did the hard yards. And so now that's kind of what other countries have kind of dealt with. And what he implemented, what he's done, the culture he's created, you can replicate that.
Well, you used a key word there, didn't you? Culture.
Mate, you walk into people walk into our office here in Melbourne, and they come in and like, is this it? And we're just like, yeah. They're like, whoa, this is amazing, because we're just, like I said, I'm the oldest, but, I've got toys and Lego and shit all over my desk, and I'm just like, yeah, what's going on?
You're a Lego guy.
Man, it's the only thing that can make me step away and not think about something else. That's
Oh,
my
right.
therapy. But in saying that, I think it took me July last year. I bought the AT-AT, and I only just finished it probably about a week ago. So it's taken. I don't have much time, but yeah, when I need to simmer and clock off and not think about something else, it's either Lego or PlayStation. It's the only
I
way.
remember looking at a Facebook post of old Buggerlugs over here. I came back from Las Vegas, and I bought him the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, yeah, the big one.
Sick, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got that as well. Yeah, it's good.
It took us probably a week to finish, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Again, people that design that stuff, the whole time you're making it, you're like, someone designed,
Do you watch that Lego Master show? Do you watch
I
that?
love Lego Masters. Oh, I love Brickman. He's a hero.
You just shout out to Brickman. Do
I
you know who
love-
Brickman is, Mev?
Yeah, of course I do.
Love Brickman. He's seems like the most sweetest human being, and he's considered he's elite in the Lego world in Australia.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
And if you bumped into him on the street, you're like, oh, Brickman, sorry to bother you. He would not care. He'd be all about it. He'd give you his time.
I just love these personalities that are in these little niche pockets of society doing stuff that is not generally accepted. But I mean, Lego's been in everybody's history,
Yeah, exactly.
hasn't it? Whether you've stood on it or whether you've created it. It's just amazing. I take my hats off to guys like that, because you look at the average working person. Right, I've got to go to work. I've got to work 40 hours. I've got to pay my mortgage. I've got to pay the electricity, and then if I've got time, I'll spend time with my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
No, I want to play with blocks and create stuff all day, and that's what I'm going to do. You've got to take your hats off to guys like that. The passion.
Oh, mate, and that's one thing Georgia really, really understands. I'm like, oh, look, I just want to do. I'm just going to come home tonight. I'm just going to sit down for an hour.
Do you want your partner's name is
Georgia?
Georgia?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together for?
I think this year was 14 years.
Wow. No kids?
14, I think. No
marriage?
No, God. I'm married. Yeah, we got married.
Oh, you got married?
Yeah, we finally got married. Oh, well, let's not even go down the COVID path. But we hit the fourth date February 18th last year.
All right.
Yeah, Feb 18th. And we now finally get to go on our honeymoon on July 12th next month. We've had to just some things that have happened, personally or whatever, that we've had to
Yeah.
move it back. And God bless her soul, she's like, yeah, that's cool, okay,
It's
fine.
awesome. Congratulations.
mate.
You guys gonna have kids?
Negative.
No, you're on the no kids side.
Nah.
Not by choice.
Yeah, by choice.
By choice.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. We're our life is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, we check in on each other every once in a while. Be like, oh, are you sure you still don't want to have kids? And she's like, probably the most furthest away. She's like, no.
I take my hat off to you. I mean, you as a couple, you've made a decision, and we've got friends that are the same. And then we've had friends that have made the decision not to have kids, and now they have a kid.
Yeah.
So things change, people's outlooks change.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think as a couple, you've got to have a clear path. You've got to know where you're going together, and you've got to be on the same page. Yeah.
And that's the thing. And if Georgia were like, even if like tonight I go home, like, oh, how's your day? And if I was to ask her, what's your stance on kids? She's like, oh, actually, maybe I've changed my mind. I'm in with her.
Yeah.
Like that's that's my pal, that's my best friend, and I'm like in whatever she wants to do, sort of thing. And I know that she'd be the same if she turned around to me and be like, oh, what's your thoughts? I'd be like, you know what? After
You'd be a fucking cool dad, dude. You'd be a cool dad.
I love my nieces and nephews, and I love hanging out, and even friends, kids, and stuff. I love it so much. But Georgia and we've got a pretty fun, exciting, and there's a running joke pretty much in AS Colour as well. There's Sam, who's our head of sales, he's got 2 kids, and then Ryan, he's got Ryan, RJ, he's got little Scout, and they tell all their beautiful stories. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then there's like, when there's a negative, like, oh, Scout's done, I'm like, oh, that's reason number 2,976. So I think we're at about 3,000 for not, and about 4 for.
Yeah.
No, I do love kids, but yeah.
I was the same, mate. I was the same. And then old Buggerlugs come along and was like, fuck, best decision.
Yeah, but you nailed it. You got a bloody good-looking,
Look at
smart kid.
He's a good-looking rooster.
That's a hard tats lotto to win.
Yeah. It wasn't all my doing, I can tell you that much.
Oh, that's it'll be all on George's behalf with us as well.
Yeah,
We're that couple that walked down the street, like, he must have money or something's going on here.
Sure.
I know you want, mate, you want to see her. Like, people that do see it, they're just like,
so you're punching above your weight.
not even like I still like every day. I'm just like I'm literally. I'll wake up about what's going on. It's very bizarre, even for me to say. You don't say that about yourself with the partner you're with.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, good on you, mate. Take it. Kudos to you.
Yeah, no, it's good. She's a gem.
So as far as AS Colour is concerned, we were talking about trajectory earlier on. Where are you going? Where are you headed?
Mate, the trajectory is wild. Like the US and the UK, it's all eyes, and I love watching it. And we've brought on, some, like I said, I mentioned Wyatt earlier. That guy, he's just like of a different ilk.
Yep.
The way that he talks and the way that he is, he's a very calm and soothing person, but his vernacular and the way that he talks is just it's really like, I'm like,
on point. Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool. And then we brought on Adriano, who I met just in March over at a summit that we had in the US, and that guy is like, we have all stats and stuff like that. And I'm like, this guy has to be an alien. There's something like, he's just and he loves it, and the way that he talks. And again, he's another person, like, I gauge people on the way that they talk about their partners as well, and like, kind of like the handshake. You judge someone on a handshake pretty much.
Oh, mate, 90% of it.
Exactly. And that's when I met him over in New Zealand, I'm like, this guy is, and just watching him and what's changing in the US at the moment, it's really quite inspirational. And then we got Guy Jensen, who he's the one that he gave me this necklace actually, and I've been wearing this every day since I met him. And Wes, who's the other guy that I mentioned earlier, they're like leading the charge in the UK, and by leading the charge, like, intense, really, like the shift that you've seen since those guys have come on board, really impressive. But it's such a big giant mechanism that all works together. Like I mentioned Sam briefly, who's our head of sales. He's one of my favorite people I've ever met.
It's
I
cool
love him.
though.
I
I mean,
love
to,
him
to
so
have
much.
those relationships within the company and the people that you work
Oh,
with.
we all look after each other.
So if we're talking about influences and trends, does the US market have any influence on what you do here in Australia, or is Australia its own living beast and has its own hub of its own wheel?
It's kind of yeah. There definitely is. We are definitely seeing things like like things that because collectively, New Zealand and Australia together, population wise, wasn't enough to govern adding new things to the range if people ask for it. Like I don't know. Like I've had some outrageous things being asked. Like, oh, you guys need to do like G strings that we can for this. Yeah, fully. Like Jay from the TA House, like he caters to strip clubs. He's like, oh yeah, no, we have to like try and source them ourselves. I'm like, well, yeah, we're not doing G strings, mate. It's not happening. But then but if the US and the UK, like things that get asked for, if there's a demand for it and it's within our wheelhouse, we're never doing G strings, but if there's enough. So I think there's certain industries that we're not really maybe privy to here. Like obviously, as you know, like college sports in the US is like nothing.
Oh, it's
We've
insane.
got no idea here.
No, it's
We've
insane.
got no idea.
It's its own beast in itself. It's just
Beast is really the proper word. It is maniacal, huge, millions and millions and millions per college, per university.
yeah.
And it just goes on and on and
And the
on.
expendable income that they generate or they have to
So
buy stuff is just insane.
So the influence in that regard is really strong from the US, really strong. And then the UK, I would say they're probably leading the charge globally as far as like organics.
Yep.
Yeah, organic cottons. So there's quite a fair bit of pressure from the UK to develop, kind of create more organics in their range. But what people don't realise, less than 1% of the world's cotton growth is organic.
I did not know that. I was
Less
going to
than
ask.
1%.
I was going to ask you because obviously organics is a hit word, a buzzword at the moment, and you do a good range of organics. But what sort of percentage of
Less than 1% of the world's cotton growth is organic.
in your range? What sort of percentage of organics are you doing as opposed to non-organic?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's not too far off, kind of like that.
Yep.
But there's a massive demand to grow it. There are companies that are really driving the need for us to expand more.
What's stopping it? Is it price? Is it just
Accessibility.
accessibility?
Yeah.
So there's not enough organic cotton
We'll
being
take whatever
produced?
they can get. We'll,
Yep.
that's
Is there a major price difference between the organic and non-organic?
Yeah, of course. But we're fortunate enough. We're at that scale that we can do it kind of economically. I mean, there's not a really big price disparity between our regular and organic.
No.
It's just that we can't get enough of it.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's just supply and demand.
yeah.
If you had your way, what sort of percentage of organic?
I
would
wouldn't
you
be
have
surprised
as
if
opposed-
Larry just wanted to go all organic.
Really?
Mate, that guy just wants everything to be like. That's why we're so strong on ethical sourcing, recycled plastics. He genuinely just constantly trying to figure out ways to make it better for the environment and the future generations and stuff like that. He's very, very well. He's got kids, and he just thinks about the future for his
Yep.
kids. And it's just like, well, this t-shirts are still going to be here, but like
T-shirts are
Here's
always
meant-
going to be here.
exactly. So it's just like got to make it as the best as possible for
Yep.
future generations. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but I'm going in. But he was recently over here researching and working with some cotton farms that are like, kind of leading the charge on, better sourcing, but also using a lot less water for higher yield. The level of science involved now is not like it was
Yeah.
even 5 years ago, sort of thing.
So what's involved in creating organic cotton as opposed to normal cotton?
Obviously, pesticides is number one thing.
Yep.
So obviously using not using chemicals and all that sort of thing. But there are some people, there's the places that will use ducks to get rid of insects and stuff like that. You just see swarms, like farmers that, if you go to Indonesia and you go to a certain place like organic rice paddies,
Yep.
they'll just have thousands of ducks just go through.
Oh, really?
And they just sweep through a rice paddy and just picking off all the bugs. That's how they do it.
I did not know. That's amazing.
You'll see duck herders. I love it. And they just have a big giant.
Mav, give me a video of duck herders.
See if you can
get
get
it
duck
up there.
Indonesian
That's
duck
insane.
herders. Oh, I love it. And that's the thing. I just when it was a couple of trips before I went to Indo, but yeah. And then you see that they got a long stick with just a plastic bag, and they just herd the ducks like that, steer the ducks, and the ducks just clean through, and they're just, and that's how they feed the ducks as well.
That's
and then the ducks obviously shit as they're going through, so it's fertilized, so it's full supernatural, and then and that rice is like the highest priced rice and stuff because
I can see why they don't do that in NZ because they shoot the shit out of the ducks.
Look,
I think duck season's
Here's a
first
duck
of May.
herding.
Oh, here we go.
Already.
Okay, well let's see them doing their business.
Yeah, see the stick with the
Yeah.
bullet.
Oh, there you go.
Stick with the bag on it. I love it.
They're good looking ducks.
Look
I'll
at
tell
that
you
duck
what.
with that white duck with the mohawk. What a legend. Is that it? And they just sweep through.
For our listeners that are just listening, yes, we're looking at a flock of ducks and
This is a small one. Some of them
and
have like thousands.
a man with a stick. I don't know where he's taking them. I don't think he's
It looks
taking
like
them
he's
to
taken down to the milk bar.
maybe he's taking them to the local takeaway.
Oh no!
the old do duck in. Oh, come on, Mav. Come on. This is good listening for our listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you
there
go.
we go. 10,000 ducks.
On a farm in Nakhon Pathon, Thailand, a flock of 10,000 ducks. Oh, so their
Devour
job
pests.
to devour pests such as snails.
There you go.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at
And
'em.
this is this rice? A way of cleaning the rice paddies is a tradition in the region and other parts of Thailand. This is insane. Look at them.
So good. So yeah.
There you go. Hey, Muay Thai. We talked about Muay Thai before. You used to throw the leg over, did you?
Yeah, still actually I jumped on the bag. When was it? On Saturday. Back on. My knees trashed from skateboarding and a few other things. But
Is that your stress release? Is it? Did you work out the gym normally? You go to the gym?
Yeah, I'll go usually 4 to 5 days a week.
Good.
Yeah. Although my current physique, I've been in the good paddock. Actually, I say
They look
that.
all right to me, mate.
I say that it's more that I don't eat enough. Usually don't have breakfast and lunch, so I need to eat more. to
Well,
make
that's
up
the
for it.
thing with physique and that you got to maintain that calories and stuff. It's just when you're too busy and you're eating shit food.
Wow, I travel a lot, so
Yeah,
it's
it's-
breakfast, lunch, and dinner out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes like that's my number one requirement for booking like accommodation when I'm away. Like I tell the travel agent, like, has to have a gym.
Yeah.
And then somebody like, oh, this one's got a gym, so you rock up,
It's a room with a treadmill. Mate, you just got to go online yourself and check the photos out. But yeah, you're right.
I don't have the time to do that.
Oh, mate.
It's
Get,
like, look,
get a bit of travel agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we've got a corporate, the new one now, corporate with Flight Centre. She's amazing. I never would have thought I'd say that about someone that looks, what are you, a travel agent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give shout outs?
Yeah, go on. Shout
Yeah.
out. Shout out to your travel agent.
Stephanie Romig at Flight Centre. She is
Which flight centre are
phenomenal.
we talking about?
Flight Centre corporate. So
Okay.
I think she works
Oh,
like head
awesome.
office and looks after our account. But she is so...
Well, cheers to her.
And because I'm not far off, like a borderline proper idiot. But I'd come back, oh, Steph, I'm so sorry. And she must be using some colourful language when reading my emails.
Yeah. Well, it's all part and parcel, isn't it, mate?
Comes back within like 5 minutes, knows that my schedule's hectic, and
Yep.
done. I'm like, oh,
It's good when you got
God.
good people around you.
that's a lot of it. Man, our team in the office, the best of it, like best ever.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Yeah, it's good.
So going forward, what's on the cards for you? I mean, personally, well, let's put work aside. We talked about your personal life and your lovely wife. Personally, what do you want to do in the next 2 to 3 years? What is there something that you're aspiring to outside of work, or is your main focus work to get what you want out of life
I like a lot of like outside of work, like I do it. Like I try and, we get 48 hours, Monday to Friday, and then we get 48 hours. So I always like to put as much as I can. That's where probably George is like, oh, come on, can we just have a chill for a bit?
So you're only doing 48, 48 did you say?
Pretty much, yeah. You
Okay,
finish work on a Friday, and then you got Saturday, Sunday to do whatever you
That's
can.
light. That's light compared to what I do. But anyway.
I'd like to have a lot more.
So would I.
Yeah, but yeah, so like, so just as long as I get to tick off the things that make me, like kind of like make me bliss out a little bit, or make me chill and relax or whatever.
Which,
Mate, I do ride the motorbike. I love motorbikes. I love going camping. I love going, I'll go fishing. I love fishing.
mate, we have
I
to
do
get
things.
you
I
out
do a
on
lot
the
of
boat,
painting.
mate.
Yes, I don't get to go out on the boats that often.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I love like in land. Even on the weekend, like I went for a quick fish with my brother, and and then
Where do you normally go fishing?
like I mean, obviously living on the peninsula, I'll
Yep.
head to like certain spots or whatever. But even Mornington, I love Mornington Pier. And, like I have my spot where
Oh,
I'll
awesome.
rock up and I'm like, oh, there's someone in my spot, and then I'll wait till they move or whatever, and then encroach and bang. Because that's the thing.
You know what I do? I rock up in my boat and park where you're fishing. On the, and so
I do the same.
So you
I'm all
have
for
to
it.
move. So you have to move. Oh, so look, mate. Let me know. Come out. We'll take you out for a fish.
Yeah,
know?
nice. No, I love it. But I think Georgia and I, since we've been together, since the first moment we were together, we've travelled pretty much every year up until COVID, pretty much.
Awesome.
We travel a lot. Travel is our thing. We just work to travel, pretty much.
That's perfect, mate. So what's next on the
Yeah,
itinerary?
our honeymoon's next month. So we're going Greece, Turkey, which is now it's
Yep.
known as, and Croatia. So I've done Greece, but I haven't done the other two.
Oh, cool. Greece is amazing. There's a little island called Paros.
Been there.
You've been to Paros?
So we've been to Paros and Naxos, but Georgia hasn't been to those.
Oh.
So we'll be ticking both those off.
Yeah, we got told about Paros and sort of took it as a grain of salt and got there and ended up staying about 10 days. And just hired a scooter, went all around the thing, and then went over to Antiparos. And it was just
nice.
and it was off season too. It was amazing. I love the fucking cats. There's cats everywhere. It's fucking cool,
Can't wait.
mate. That'd be awesome. So after your honeymoon, you've obviously got to have another destination that you want to travel to. I mean, I've got a big bucket list. Where are you at with yours?
Well, originally Georgia and our honeymoon was meant to be in like South Africa and go on safari. Plan to do like Botswana, Tanzania, and Namibia and Kenya and stuff like that. But just because COVID or whatever, so put that on the back burner. So I'd say that'd probably be the next big one.
Nice.
But you've been to Japan.
Yeah.
Mate, I didn't want
You
to.
haven't been to Japan?
I've been. No.
I was going to say.
That's the thing. I didn't want to be like. I knew these people that are, heaps of friends of mine that had been to Japan. You know, those people like, oh, Japan, you got to go to Japan. Oh, Japan. I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
But then after you go there,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's the thing, though, dude. You can talk as much as you want about it, but you've got to experience it.
It's so special, hey.
It is.
It's really special.
It is. And like, we obviously spout about it, and you can see all the paraphernalia.
I love it.
You can see the big Osaka banner in our factory. I mean, yeah, Japan is part of me now because of the amount of times I've been there, the amount of times.
My dog's named Akira. My jacket that my motorbike jacket that I had custom made is the Kaneda's jacket from the movie Akira.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man.
My whole house is filled with masks and Japanese artwork and stuff like that. It's wild.
Yeah. Our dog's name's Yoshi,
Oh, really?
and we've got.
That's what I dressed up as when I rode the go-karts through Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Mav just went recently, and unfortunately, he was too young to do that. So we're gonna have to go back and do the kart thing. But that's something to look forward to in the future.
Well, Georgia had never ridden. She'd never driven a go-kart.
Go kart. Oh,
And
wow.
like we rocked up to this underground, like literally a car park of like a hotel, and they're like, "Oh, so have you guys ridden go-karts before?" And it's like, yeah, no drama. Like, okay, we'll be back in 4 hours. I'm like,
Oh, they just setting you off, and you just.
went up out of the car park out onto the roads, and we're gone for 4 hours. We we ended up nearly out of the city.
Man, that's insane.
Oh, it was
It's a
so
great
wild.
experience. Yeah. I absolutely love it. I love the place and can't wait to get back there again. But,
Beautiful people.
the safari thing sounds amazing.
Yeah, super. Yeah, I reckon we'll do that because I'm want to get to 10 years. I reckon
Yeah,
10 years with AS Colour,
yeah.
and that'll be the celebration.
What's long service these days?
10 years.
It is 10 years.
Yeah, you get a little hit at 7. Hence why we're going on an extended honeymoon, and then you get the big doozy at 10.
So how many weeks? How many weeks you away?
I don't know.
3 or 4, 5?
Oh, we're going away for 5.
Oh,
This one.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And then at 10, you're going to get what, 6 or something? More.
I think it's more. I want to say 12. I don't really focus on that's the thing. I didn't know until I got told.
Oh, really?
Yeah, by Nikki from work. She's like, "Oh, you're coming up to got this." I'm like, "Oh, whoa,
That's cool.
what happens there? Well, how does it work?" Yeah, and that's the
You got a good HR department by the sounds of it.
Oh, she's a gem.
Yeah.
She's a rare human.
Wow.
You have
to
be.
be in
You have
HR,
to
you
be.
got. So my wife Ashley is in HR.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
yeah. She's only just down the road here at Bega. So shout out to Ash and all the team down at Bega. She does a
cheese.
lovely job. She loves her job. She loves people. Unlike me, I don't like people. I'd never be.
It's so weird you say that.
It is.
But all the good ones seem to gravitate towards you, and
Oh, really?
But I feel like you're old school straight shooter, and
I don't suffer fools, mate.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And yeah, I am old school.
Yeah.
I got brought up the right way, knowing the right way to do something.
Yeah.
And that's why I get upset sometimes, is because things aren't done the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things.
100%.
And that's just the way I am. It's just
Yeah.
that's how I like it. You look at what I've got here. You do it the right way, or you don't bother doing it at all. It's as
That's
simple as
pretty
that.
much my old man, bless his soul, rest in peace, and he passed away recently. But that's kind of what he was. Just always like the same thing. It was then. Yeah, that's just the way. It's not hard. Not a hard formula.
Yeah, but also I'm open to new things, to knowledge,
Yeah.
to improving myself, to be a better person.
Yeah.
You know, but generally, this is ironic what we're doing right here, because I don't like people. I do not like, and people that know me know that.
Yeah.
It's not a secret.
Well, when I saw you at the post office, you're like, "Oh, I'm doing this now." I'm like,
Yeah, you go, what the
weird.
fuck?
But then when I listened to the first episode, was it Glenn and Rusty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Oh,
Glenn and Rusty.
I can't believe I remembered that.
Yeah,
But those because one of them's a police officer, or was.
Rusty was a police
Yeah,
officer.
yeah. And I was just like, oh, okay, I get it. Like he's like the right people have gravitated. Like you've fucking.
Well,
got
my circle is very small, but
your vibe attracts your tribe.
it's elite.
Yeah.
It's elite. It's top class. It's
Yeah.
top class. Like you, my friend.
I'll
And
take that.
I want to say to you, thank you very much for coming down.
No, thank you for
I wanna
having me.
Thank you for your time.
Been fun. Very fun.
It is. Well, I hope you can come back later on down the track with some more stories to tell. I'm
I'm still here to tell them.
I'm sure you got a few more to tell for sure. So once again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute. Well, thank you, and for your support and what you've done for for AS Colour as like a massive. You fly the flag hard for us. That's for sure.
Thank you. It's
No.
when you're dealing with good people and good products, it's not fucking hard, is it, mate?
Oh, I think that's pretty much as easy as it gets, isn't it?
I think we'll wrap it up, mate.
Nice.
Thanks, Mav. That's a wrap.
Thanks, Mav.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in and for your time. You know the vibe, I'm steady living until I die. It's a lewd state of mind, and we showed you that. Keep it authentic and real, I hope you coming back. Hey, make sure that you subscribe, cause we got it popping all the time, and it's going down. If you wanna elevate, wanna live a better life, keep it locked here. You know it's a lewd state of mind, let's go.